that instant gratification for your skin. Like if you're like, you're looking in the mirror and you're like, geez, I just wish I could just go a little bit tighter, a little lift every day. This is a little this is it. You know, I said the other day, it's like everybody loves to have a great hair day, but how about having a great face day?
Hello, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Spiritually Raw. And as always, thank you so much for your energy exchange with us today. And we hope you woke to the most miracle morning and are also having the most fortunate day today. Our good fortune here is with our Ismael Perez, our soul brother today. He's going to be hanging out with us, talking about his life's journey as a cosmic ambassador to Earth. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're going to find out more about that in just a second. Ismael's links will be in the description below, so you can find out more about his works and how he can help you on your journey called life. Our links are also in there. Don't forget, you can watch us on Roku TV. You can also download us on one of these phones here, and also stay connected with us on Telegram. What else?
Not too much, but I just wanted to add, you're also the author of Our Cosmic Origin. It's taken the world by storm. Congratulations, by the way. Our Cosmic Origin, knowledge in the preparation for the ascension of the planet, which explores the celestial and ancestry of the human race and the coming golden age of the new Earth. This is really, really cool.
All right,
so
cool,
congratulations on your success. And
thank you. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
We're
man.
looking
It's
forward
good.
to getting to know you.
Yeah, it's all good. So, all right, cool. Cosmic ambassador. So how does that end up? How do you draw that straw? And how does that play out? Let's start with that.
Well, it all started when I started incorporating Kriya Yoga at the age of 21. I started downloading information from what appears to be my star family, and little by little, I was just getting downloads of the history of the galaxy, like images, almost like a movie screen just coming in. And I thought I was going crazy at first, so I started researching the information for myself to see if there was any validity to that. And lo and behold, I researched into the highly classified information that the people in power have been hiding from the public for centuries. And yeah, everything that I was downloading is actually correct and much more. There's just so much information out there, and so I felt like I needed to share this with the world. I felt like we've all been lied to. We've all been misled about our origin, about who we are, our purpose, and why we're here. There's two, I guess, prevalent explanations of our origin, and they're both flawed. They're both flawed. The theory of evolution has too many missing links that fail to explain the extraterrestrial connection. The simple theory of creation is not involving the existence of other worlds. It's not involving the existence of other dimensions and parallel universes. It's just saying that we've only been here for 6,000 years and that we were made by this God with a beard sitting on the throne. And that's not the case. That's not the case at all either. So according to my research, they're both incorrect. They're both in a way flawed, because our existence is our origin rather is cosmic. We, as spiritual beings, we began our origin from the highest levels of reality as pure celestial beings, as expressions of the One. And through a process of involution, which is what I call in my book the descent of spirit into matter, we gradually became denser and denser and denser until we became materialized. So yeah, so that's one of the things that I wanted to share with the world. We have been seeded the extraterrestrials who contributed their DNA to make us. And in turn, also see in the near future, when we become part of the galactic community, we're also going to go off and seed and terraform other worlds and new worlds. And then we're going to be guardians of that new seeding. So we're going to be like what the Watchers and Iberian Anunnakis were here. We're going to take their position, and we're going to do the same in future generations of primitive worlds. So I hope we learned our lessons, and I hope we do things right when it comes to us seeding the new worlds in the future.
So taking that apart for just a second, it makes logical sense that we would be seeding other planets. Everything is cyclical, so that makes logical sense. But how did we actually get here?
How
Well,
did we get to
how did
Earth?
it start? Yeah.
Well, the original Earth was located in the galactic sector of Sirius B in the constellation of Lyra in the star system of Vega. That's when the original Earth was made, in harmonic universe number 3. We fell from harmonic universe number 3 into harmonic universe number 2, and then that's when Atlantis came about. So we've been falling from densities, from the higher densities, we've been falling into lower octaves. So the original Earth was actually a highly advanced, multidimensional civilization, and it was then known as planet Avion. And the inhabitants of Avion were 12-dimensional Lyrans. There were Lyrans that were connected to all the densities, all the dimensions, very advanced civilization, gearing towards the spiritual feminine way of life, following the law of one, which is service to others, as all humanoids in our galaxy are known as the children of the one. And that's how we started. But unfortunately, we fell from harmonic universe number 2 to harmonic universe number 3. I'm sorry, from harmonic universe number 3 into harmonic universe number 2, and then now we're currently existing in harmonic universe number 1, which is the densest, which is a third dimensional reality where everything seems to be separated from everything else, and matter is extremely dense. But in our original makeup, we were, 8th to 12th dimensional beings, where we were more spiritual than we were matter. I guess, we were more etheric than we were material.
And at that point, just I want to interject real quick so I can kind of grasp the timeline. The harmonic number 1, would that be like the era of Krishna? Would that be before Jesus, before Buddha, in the era of Krishna, when they were highly evolved beings walking this earth plane?
Yes, they actually came from harmonic universe number 4. Yeah, they were a highly advanced spiritual, what is considered a reishi. A reishi is somebody who's already completed all levels of initiation and completed the entire ascension process, where they've already unified their individualized consciousness with the consciousness of the all, which is the mind of the universe. And that's what a reishi is. Eventually, we're all heading in that direction as we continue ascending. But yeah, they were definitely people that have already reached completion, who had actually, regressed into our world, into harmonic universe number 1, in order to uplift our planet.
What happens to us? Why do you feel like we digress? What sense is there for you that this is why we digressed? Is it you hear different theories on it? We're volunteers, we're here to help people. I mean, what's your take on all this from your learnings?
Well, we digress because of two things. Primarily because it's part of the overall plan of the cosmos for us to experience every density. That will facilitate further growth. The lower we go in density, the higher the ascension as we bounce back up, because we gain more experience. So in a way, it's like the cosmos dividing itself into like millions aspects of itself, which makes us individual souls in order for us to experience these lower densities. The second reason is because of duality. We had a rebellion against the one. Many different traditions call it the Luciferian rebellion. And that's another reason why we fell from harmonic universe number 4, and then eventually 3, 2, and 1. Because our original, if you want to go beyond Lyra, beyond our galaxy, the original Earth was Sophia, which existed in harmonic universe number 5. And that was all the way up in the 15th dimension. If you want to be technical, so we originated, that's where we all came from, the realms of eternity. And then from the realms of eternity, we just, through what I call the stepping down on frequency, we lowered our vibrations and we fell into lower octaves. Eventually, the Sophia Earth fell into harmonic universe number 4, into the 12th density Earth, and that became Aramatena. And then Aramatena fell into harmonic universe number 3, becoming Gaia. And then Gaia fell into harmonic universe number 2, becoming Terra. And in Terra, that's when the Atlantean experiment came about. So that's when there was a equilibrium between spirit and matter. That's when we started becoming less etheric and more material, but still very connected to spirit and source.
What do you think is our so we come here to be able to experience the different densities, and I kind of get where you're saying there, so we can just have that experience. But then what happens then? So if people don't experience it, let's say for example, let's say they're living, and as you can see here in the material world, a lot of people live their version of hell here. They're struck with diseases, loss of loved ones at an early time, whatever that may be for them. So what happens to them? Do they either go with the flow or do they go lower? So for example, from where we're at right now, Ismael, do we spring back up from this point should we be evolved to do, or do we continue to go down until we get to the point where we can spring back up if we didn't get it this time?
Well, the third dimension is rock bottom for us, spirit beings that originated in the higher dimensions. So we are living in a sense, I guess if hell were to exist, hell has been existing for thousands of years under the control of the Alpha Draconis and the Cabal. But their time is up. So the earth is, soon to be restored. But to answer your question, suffering in a way is part of the overall experience. It strengthens our character, it humbles us, and in a way, it makes us want to seek our connection back to source. Once we hit rock bottom, that's when people cry out for help. That's when people surrender to the one, to the divine. And sometimes that is necessary for a soul to eventually bounce back up from the deep, from the deepest densities, to eventually rise up in higher dimensions by will, of course, and by determination. So it's sometimes necessary, but again, this collective suffering that has been caused by the dark side is now being like eliminated and stuff. I think we've already been through so much as a collective, as a humanity. Our earth has been through so much, and even as a planet, our poor planet has been in a way in a state of suffering for millenniums. Her resources are being depleted.
You think of the planet as a living entity, absolutely. Yeah, it's been abused, or she's
Very
been
abused.
really. From your perspective, who are the guardians of the universe?
Well, at the highest level of reality, they come from the central universe of Havana. They're known as the Central Race. The Central Race sometimes have different names. Some call them the Azurites. The Azurites are the ones that are pretty much the universal architects of universes. All human-like civilizations throughout the multiverse are made in the image of the Azurites, which is torso, 2 arms, 5 fingers, 2 legs, a head, 2 eyes, and in the human image. So the human image began billions and billions of years ago, when the 15-dimensional time matrix came into existence. And the Azurites were the ones that facilitated the 15-dimensional time matrix. So you could say that they're the guardians, the highest levels of guardians, yeah. But there's also different levels of guardians. We also have the Raw Confederacy. We also have the Blue Avians, the Atones, the Amorites, the Brigideds, who operate under the leadership of the Azurites. And then of course there's different orders to characterize these different levels of administration. At the highest level you have the Order of Gold, which is the Eternal of Days. And then underneath that you have the Order of Silver, which is the Ancient of Days. And then underneath that you have the Emerald Order, or the Covenant of the Emerald Order of the Melchizedek Cloister, which is the Order of the Union of Days. So there's different levels of these guardians. But in our galaxy, the guardians are associated with those planets and those beings and races that are now part of the Galactic Federation, which consists of over 250,000 worlds now.
The Galactic Federation, 250,000 worlds. How do you?
That's a lot.
The concept of a god, if you would. Are we generally, as a society, what are we praying to generally? When you take a look at religions in its traditional sense, what are they praying to? Is there anybody we should be praying to, number one? Should we be reaching out or trying to connect with something, some entity that's, whether it's greater than us, whether it is us, whether it's within us, whatever, but should we be trying to connect with something out there, or is it just us for the most part, and whoever our creator was said, here you go, figure your shit out and do your thing? So how do you perceive all that?
Well, one of the biggest misconceptions that was taught by, I guess, under the power of the dark side through organized religion is the idea that God is separate from us. The truth is that everything is interconnected. We are a minor replica of the entire universe. So when we think of God, we think of an energy source, of an eternal energy source that gives rise to everything. Time, space, matter, it's all derived from that one immeasurable force that many call the One. So when I think of God, I think of the source. I think of of this immeasurable force that has never been created or destroyed, and it is the reason why everything exists. You know, everything comes from, everything emanates from the source. But as far as like an individual, one person, no. You know, there is nobody above you. You know, in that regard, pretty much you are God at the highest level of reality because you are source and embodiment.
Would the
So when
Galactic Federation, Ismail, or that oversees it?
Going though back to
What?
your question, so who do you meditate on? Who do you pray on, or whatever? Should we literally just be
In ourselves.
in our own higher self?
your higher self is an expression of the one of source, but if you want to get technical, God is the unified field. It is the living universal intelligence that exists throughout all living things and binds everything together. It is what Star Wars is known as the Force in Star Wars. You know, it is known as the Great Spirit in indigenous traditions. That is God. You know, and it is the unmanifest. It has no physical form because all form comes from that. You know, everything is a simulation, is an emanation from the unseen. So when you pray to God, when I pray to God, I pray to the unified field, you know, that is all around us, that connects everything in existence as one.
It's like that's the whole, you had to lump it into one category. It's the unified field.
The unified field, and it is conscious, and it is alive, and it's intelligent. It
Mhm.
is and sentient, of course. And the more we connect with it, the more we are protected, the more we are guided, and in a way, the more our psychic and spiritual abilities enhance. And then we become like Jedi. See, that's the secret of the Jedi Order. I'm sorry to use Star Wars as a you know, as a reference, but George Lucas tapped into some deep knowledge when he some people say he stole the story from someone else. But the whole point is this, you know, it is an intelligent entity that has no form, and that it exists in the form of pure energy. So when one connects daily to this entity that is pure energy, eventually you're able to manipulate matter, and you're able to manipulate the matrix, because that is the quantum field that is associated with the quantum realm where all probabilities exist. So that's how we are able to manifest faster. That's why if you want to, you know, if you want to develop your telekinetic abilities and move objects with your mind, then you have to develop a stronger connection with the unified field, because the unified field is God. Without the unified field, there is no existence.
The almighty everything.
The almighty.
Is the veil getting thinner as far as you see it? I mean, is it really merging? Are we there yet, or we still have a ways to go before we can actually, you know, intercross? And that's number one. Number two, just a follow up with that while you're getting that rhythm, is are we in and out of 3D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 10D all day long, or is it like literally like boom, you elevate, you lock in, boom, you elevate, you lock in, back down like that? How do you see it play out?